Young chief, eager for wisdom, asked the wise old master chief, "Speak to us of leadership." And he replied, "What is it to lead but to be the breath that animates the body of the community, invisible yet essential? Leadership is not the loud clamor of command, nor the assertive display of power. It is the quiet river that carves canyons through the ancient earth, gently, persistently shaping the path not with force, but with constancy. A true leader does not seek followers. They become the path itself, laying down the stones for others' feet, not ahead of them, for they may choose their own way, but beside them, that they may walk with assurance. He who leads with love and understanding stands like a beacon upon a hill, not to cast shadows upon those who follow, but to illuminate the path for all. Leadership is the courage to stand alone, facing the tempest, yet remaining steadfast in the knowledge that the calm will come. The greatest of leaders are those who serve, for in service is the truest of power. They are like the tree that offers shade to the weary traveler, not asking who rests beneath his boughs or while they journey, only giving comfort and refuge. To lead is to listen, not only to the words spoken by the mouths of men and women, but to the silent plea of the heart that is in need. It is to speak the language of kindness, to hear the unspoken, to see the invisible. Leadership is a tapestry woven from the threads of humility, strength, wisdom, and compassion. Each thread alone is fragile, but together they create a fabric strong enough to hold the weight of a community. Remember, the measure of leadership is not found in the number of followers, but in the lives touched, the souls kindled, and the spirits lifted up. It is the ability to awaken in others the belief in their own light. Oprah Winfrey said, after interviewing 35,000 people from world leaders to world-class athletes, that they all asked the exact same question, regardless of stature. In one way or another, they asked, "Hey, was that okay?" No matter what they achieved, how much prominence they had, they all wondered, were they enough? And before I begin my encouragement, I want you to have a solidified starting place, Chiefs, to lead from, that you are enough. You are not your mistakes. You are not your missteps. You are not your worst. You are enough. It is not an accident that you are here. Do not be an imposter. Be the chief. You were meant for this time. Own it. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow chiefs, and most importantly, our newest members of the Chiefs Mess, today marks the culmination of your hard work, your dedication, and commitment to the principles of leadership. But let me be clear, this is not the finish line. In fact, it's just the beginning. And as you stand on the threshold of this new journey, I want to share with you 3 words that will guide, challenge, and embrace fully will define your success as a Chief Petty Officer. These words are kill, steal, and fight. Now, I'm sure that's not what you expected to hear, but today I'm going to ask you to rethink what it means to be a leader, and these 3 words will be our anchor, pun intended. We live in a time where we need leaders who can thrive in a volatile, uncertain, chaotic, and ambiguous environment. And to be effective, the leader's overall approach must be equal or superior to the complexity of that environment. So let's get into it. Let's start with the word kill. As chiefs, you are now in a position where you will be looked to for guidance, for strength, and for leadership. But to be what others need you to be, keep that in mind, because I'll say it a couple of times, what others need you to be, you must first kill something within yourself. You must kill the desire to focus on you. Leadership is not about you anymore, it is about them. The sailors who look up to you, the teams you'll lead, the missions that you will complete. To serve them effectively, you must die to yourself. You must put death to the ego, to the self-interest, and to the desire for your own personal recognition. That death must be a willing choice, one that you make every single day that you put this uniform on. A leader's role is to facilitate an environment where everyone on their team can be the best version of themselves. And you can only do that when yourself isn't the main character. Killing the focus on yourself isn't a sign of weakness, it is the ultimate strength. It is what allows you to lead with clarity, to lead with purpose, and with an unwavering commitment to your people. When you choose to kill your own desires, you create a space to truly serve those under your charge. You become the leader that they need, not the leader you may have wanted to be for your own sake. So let's move on to steal. Now, I'm not talking about stealing in the traditional sense, don't worry. I'm talking about stealing something far more valuable than material goods. I'm talking about stealing the methodologies for success. As chiefs, you are expected to have the answers, to know the way forward, to lead with confidence. But let me tell you a secret, and I hope that you figure this out through this whole process. No one has all the answers, and that is completely okay. The key is to be humble enough to recognize when someone else has what you lack, and to be bold enough to steal their methods, their wisdom, and their approach. There's a wealth of knowledge out there, and it's your job to tap into it. Observe those around you, those who have succeeded where you want to succeed, and steal their secrets. Ask the question, how? How do they achieve that level of success? How do they navigate that challenge? And how can you apply their strategies to your own leadership? One of my favorite thieves is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant extracted all of the principles from one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Michael Jordan, and in my estimation, the GOAT. He stole all of his principles. He stole his footwork. He stole his drive. He looked at every aspect of what MJ brought to the game and what defined his success, and he applied it to his own game and became himself one of the greatest of all time. So do not be afraid to steal. I've learned some of my most valuable lessons by watching others, by stealing their methodologies. I am only here today because I am the culmination of all the things that I've learned from those that have gone before me. Steve Capps, Chris Connery are just some of the names of the people that have been great that have gone before me. And I've taken every last principle that they have been willing to give, and in some cases, not willing to give. I didn't reinvent the wheel. I learned from those who had already figured it out. And in doing so, I became a better leader, a better mentor, and a better chief. So steal with pride. Steal knowledge, steal wisdom, and steal experience. Be humble enough to admit that you do not know it all, and be curious enough to seek out those who do. And finally, let's talk about the last word, fight. As a chief, you must be a fighter, but not in the way that you think. I'm not talking about physical combat. I mean, though that may come, who knows? But I'm talking about the daily, relentless fight for your people. You are their advocate, their shield, their champion. You must fight for their well-being, fight for their growth, fight for their readiness, and sometimes that means giving them what they need, not necessarily what they want. There will be times where you're going to have to make some tough decisions. Decisions that may not be popular but necessary for the greater good. You may have to push your team harder than they want to be pushed. Hold them to higher standards than they think they can meet, and demand more of what they believe they can give. But you do it because you're preparing them for something greater. You're preparing them for the very real possibility of combat against a very real foe. And when that time comes, they need to be ready. And their readiness will depend on how well you have fought for them, how well you have trained them, how well you have led them, how well you have prepared them for the challenges ahead. I would tell you, I'm a natural fighter because I grew up with 4 older brothers. They were all bigger than me, so I had to hit first. So fighting came naturally to me, and it served me throughout my career because I'm willing, and you have to be willing to go jump on somebody's desk, to get in somebody's face for the advocacy and the protection of your people. Sometimes they'll be getting the runaround. They'll be getting mistreated or overlooked. And the fact that your mere presence, when you walk into the room, the power that you have wearing this uniform will change the atmosphere of that room. This is how you advocate, and this is how you fight for your sailors. As chiefs, you are that someone. You must fight for your people, not in just the obvious ways, but in the small, daily battles as well that build them into the warriors that they need to be. So, as you pin your anchors today, remember, kill your desire to focus on you. Steal the methodologies for success and fight relentlessly for your people. These are the actions that will define you as a chief petty officer. These are the principles that will guide you through the challenges ahead. And these are the words that, if you live by them, will ensure your success and the success of those that you lead. You are now they. You are now the Navy. And we need you to be all in. My dad used to tell me that growing up, you don't do anything unless you are all in. My battle cry when I was the chief of the boat on board the USS Helena was all in, all the time. It embodies your daily posture. It captures how you should attack everything. And it demonstrates how you should inspire, lead, and guide your people. So if I can get some crowd participation here, when I say all in, can I get you to say all the time? All in?
All the time.
All in?
All the time.
All in?
All the time.
Congratulations, Chief. Your journey has just begun. Now go out there and kill, steal, and fight like the leaders I know that you can be. Navy Chief.
Navy pride.
Navy Chief.
Navy pride.
Navy Chief.
Navy pride.
Hoo-yah.